Here, this is Yolanda talking.
All right, let me go next door to her because then after that I can go.
Is she there?
I think so.
Good. And then you can give her the information from the guy. I need both. I need all of that file. All that. Hey guys,
Hello. Hey, Mary Beth.
Hassan. I always feel like you're in like a very nice, warm, sunny place.
Yeah, that's around there.
I'm jealous. I'm like, man, is Hassan in his Florida house?
Yeah. One day.
Good. I'm glad you're dreaming. I love it. I love it. Love it. Just going live here. We just finished up that other meeting, so it was a few minutes. Had to catch a breath. Rashid is joining. Parul, how are you? Mr. Klimko?
All good.
Mr. Klimko, I believe somebody was joining from your crew.
That's a bonus.
Yeah. I think it's gonna start working. You were
Yeah.
on that Brent Mitchell thing, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Simple guy, simple systems.
Yeah,
I think he could even enhance it at this point, but he's kept it simple. What's working is working, right?
got to put them into place.
Yeah. And maybe run a couple other ads as well
Mhm.
in other markets. Are you doing that yet?
Now, that's where I need your help. We got to
Cool.
get together.
So yeah, so I think we should do when we get off of Mega Camp, what I would really like to do is just have a group, and maybe we could do this even on Wednesdays. This would be something for open for all, like a wealth building Wednesday group that gets together. We talk about items of value that we could be sharing with agents,
Mhm.
tactics, strategies, ads we could be putting out to build that system. Because there's quite a few people that have expressed that they really want. I think Parul, you're one of them. She was talking about the referral system, and I'm like, oh, the profit share. So I will be putting that on the calendar, open for all. That's one thing. Today's message, I just want to slow down a little bit to kind of talk about a few things that I'd like to put in place for leadership. One is book clubs. So we will be having a one thing book club, and there's going to be two one things happening. Resham, it has a one thing that will be happening, and she'll be going live. So she has a small group that her and I will be doing the one thing book.
Right.
It will be starting after March. I think it's the second week of March, and that will be on Thursday mornings at 7:45 a.m. It will be recorded and it will be dropped into the lobby once it's done. So that's one thing. I would like to, according to Parul's our conversation, I would like to start up an MREA book club meeting once a week as well. I think that might be on a Tuesday morning at 7:45. Not sure. I will think about the schedule, and we're talking about the March schedule now. Outside of that, I want to start something like Jim that you're talking about, is for us to be meeting weekly to talk about wealth building, talk about profit share earning, and how we could be referring more agents into our downlines. Okay. And look, if you're not interested, I'm not offended at all. It's totally fine. If it's not part of where you're at in your journey of building your business, that's okay. But there are agents, and I do think I'm pretty qualified to help you get there. So, all right. I wanted to read something called out of the U Squared book. Price Pritchett. I've read stuff out of here before. People are locking themselves out in this office over here. Crazy lands. And how many of you are you all registered for family reunion? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Please prepare. Okay. Please go and set up your profile today. Take a look at those classes today and start looking at what you're going to go to. Okay. But what I want to do is I just want to read this here. U Squared, Price Pritchett, small little inspirational book. My first bold coach gave it to me. Her name is Michael Ann Byerly. So if you're out on Facebook world, try to connect with her because she is an amazing individual. This one is The Trust in the Power of Pursuit. So I ask you to just, take it in, listen to the words. It's one page. And then let's just talk about what that means for us, where we are in today's waters. Okay. It says you've dreamed many dreams that were yours for the taking. Most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. In fact, almost all of them were well within your reach. Even now, most of what you dream of can be yours. The simple secret is the seeking, pursuit. Dreams begin to crystallize into reality when they are pursued. The world behaves differently when you actually take action to go after what you want. What you wish could be starts becoming. The dream moves in your direction, begins to come to you, even as you reach for it. Consider this: the dreams you have realized in your life are those which you have actively sought. That which you have achieved is what you decided to go for in one way or another. You can think positively all day long, all year, but positive action is what counts. Wishing, longing, wanting, desiring, these are not the same as pursuing a dream. These are mental states and can play an important role in the process of becoming U squared, but they are essentially passive. Pursuit, on the other hand, is active. Reaching for your dream is behaving, moving. It shortens the distance between you and your desired objective. Most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. Their desire for a dream may be desperate and deep, but when that desire fails to produce, they conclude the dream cannot be theirs. Actually, the only proof that they have is that the longing is not enough. The data in hand merely proves that desire alone cannot deliver. Pursuit is what makes the difference. Reaching for what you want alters the odds immediately and drastically of getting it. What you want becomes part of the dynamic exchange with the world and you in partnership. When you act and extend yourself toward the dream. U squared is firmly believing and based on the premise of pursuit. Quantum leap requires you to take the offensive. You can't achieve exponential gains in your success from a defensive posture. You can't remain in a passive stance and make a quantum jump. You must move on the dream. This means that you must leave the cover, the safety that goes with merely wishing for something. You must place your trust in action, act, seek, ask, knock, and the dream shall be yours. So talk to me. What resonated with some of you?
I couldn't unmute fast enough. I loved that.
Thank you, Patty.
It's not just about wanting something, desiring it. You have to actually put the work in. I'm so big on that.
Absolutely. And that's coming from Patty Gurney, who is big on visualizing it as well. Right. So she's somebody that could say, I visualize it and it happens, because we think that that's what's going on. She's putting a lot of work behind it. But I guess sometimes we could also look and say, is the pursuit, did you ever get into a position where you've just been saying the same thing? You want this, I want a listing, I want to do 10 deals, I want to do 20 deals, I want to be skinny, I want to be rich, I want to be happy, I want this. Now, number one is, we understand from coming from a bold upbringing, I've been in bold 12 times, business objective, life by design, not by default. We understand that when you're in that wanting stage, you're going to stay in a wanting stage. If you want something, you just want it. if I am taking action towards it, I envision it, I am it, I do it. That is very different than being in a stage of wanting. You know, I mean, a lot of us have had children in our lives somewhere that we could seriously look at and say, you know, they want something and it's on this shelf, like, well, but just, you got to reach, you got to, you got to go get it. You got to, can you get my glasses? They're over there. Just, you got to walk and go get them. I want them. I need them. Wanting and needing are two states that we do not want to stay in. It's good to understand, oh, I want that. Well, no, I don't want it. I will make a plan. I intend on having it. Intention, pursuit. So what does pursuit look like in our real estate business? What do you think the actions of pursuit are in our real estate business?
Lead gen.
Okay, so lead gen is very vague, and that is the right answer. But what does lead gen actually represent?
Building relationships and just meeting people.
Yeah, building relationships, meeting people, connecting,
Talking.
adding value to others with no attachment to what's going to come out of it. Just making deposits into people so that they know that you are the choice when they have to make a decision. We do all of this planning, business planning, technology, organizing, and we could get lost in that and then not be talking to anybody and not be procuring potential opportunities of purchases and sales because we're so caught up in the planning and scheduling, and I got to go to this class and I got to get my technology to look like this. And even in this week that's coming up with family reunion, the connecting between agents is just as important. The learning at a high level and connecting and building a referral network with agents in our company is just as important to your business as building new clients. Because if you can find one or two great agents that are in major markets that use you as the referral agent every time they have somebody that needs to go to New Jersey, that is just like adding another 10, 15 people into your database by adding one person that will constantly feed you anything that comes into the New Jersey world. So even though sometimes when we're in classes, we could feel like that's not taking action, let's find out how can we be purposeful and take action while we're in those classes, okay? However, the pursuit in our business, the pursuit to be a better person, the pursuit to stay learning based, those are things that we have to work on. We have to, what podcasts are we listening to? What's something that you listen to that gives you energy to get you to pursue what you need to do every day? What's something that you read every day? I'm asking you, share with us. What is it for you that you're doing? For me, I usually start my day with my devotional. And today, this is a perfect lesson for me right now. It was meant for me this morning. It says, it's not just what you do, it's when you do it. Have you ever been in a relationship and you have to address something and there's a perfect time and a perfect tone and a perfect word choice, and you know that, and you mess it all up and you just go in for the kill and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be? It blows up into a big fight, right? We've all been there. And so even in business, if you're going after clients and you could feel that they're in a bad mood, or you can feel that they're not receptive to your message, it may not be the right time. So it's not just what you do, it's when you do it. And it talks about the story of Nehemiah and God, and when he went to God to talk about the wall, okay? And here's the six pillars that says he waited and it was purposeful. And so in our business, we need to know when to pull the trigger on certain things. When do you start calling your sphere? When do you start throwing ads into Facebook? When do you hire the first assistant? So here's 6 things that Nehemiah did well. 1, his ownership of the burden and the vision. So like, where's my ownership in this vision? Where's my ownership in where I'm going? 2, a foundation of prayer to be laid. That's meditation. That's the thinking. That's giving it to a higher power. That's knowing that you cannot do it alone. 3, his own readiness with a plan. Preparation is a key to success. I can show you a million agents that are, oh, I wing it. I just wing it. And they do well. And you see them and you go, oh, they have a great business. I promise you, if they practiced more, if they prepared their list before they started calling, if they spent time in their business quarterly to plan for the next 3 months, if they spent a half hour every Sunday looking at what the week looks like ahead, I promise you, those agents that you think are so sharp would even show up even more magnetic, even sharper. So sometimes what happens, and you guys know how I can get on a bunny trail, but sometimes what happens is we get very comfortable with what we perceive as success, because especially in our area, 10, 20 deals could bring us a nice income. 20, 30 deals could bring us a $200,000 income. Somebody could be doing 10 deals at an average of 1.5 million in our area. And, what if that person did 30 deals at 1.5 million? Wow. Right? So what I find is his own readiness with a plan. Are you truly preparing? Are you coming to the day to put your feet on the ground with energy of like, yes, I get another day to do this. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to call these people. I'm going to go to this class. I'm going to go visit these people. And I already decided that yesterday. So guess what? I'm already thinking about it. The minute I wake up, I'm already thinking about what my conversation is going to look like at 12 o'clock with Michelle. If you are not doing that, you walk into the day going like, okay, now and you're just like a robot following maybe your schedule, but not being super purposeful, not getting the most out of it. The king's mental and emotional mood. So when you are preparing to do something, your pursuit, make sure that those that are around you, those that are going to be receiving it, are in the right mood, are in the right place to receive it. Make sure you have the right mood. If you have a bad attitude, the one thing that Gary Keller would always say is if you have a bad attitude in the day, you might as well just go home, pour yourself a glass of wine and call it a day. Because you are not going to influence anybody to want to do business with you if you're in a bad mood. And even if you think you could get by, and Nabila, I always say this because Nabila has four little ones at the house. There may be days where they are trying on her nerves. And even though she thinks she can brush it off and she's on the phone after she had a fight with 2 out of 4 of them, I can sense it from her that she's really not all there. So is that a good time for her to go calling clients? No. And did life just happen? Yeah, but be purposeful, because that time on a client would be wasted if you're in a bad mood. The season when he...
But sometimes it's opposite. You want to go talk to the clients and not be with the kids. At that time, you want to step away, and actually it's your sanity when you're not with them and you're calling the clients.
So I'm going to tell you something. When you're making that transition, be mindful. Go do something for yourself to change your mindset before you go and call that client. Because if you think you could get out of a fight with your husband or your children and then run into a conversation and show up like you need to for that person, you can't. There's going to be something that comes through that says, something going on in your life before you made this call, because I could hear a little tension there. And you have only one at bat with some people, right? A season when he could move quickly, because Nehemiah waited to go to God to talk about the wall. He could have gone immediately when he was pissed off, when he wanted to talk to God. He waited because he realized, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do everything I need to do right now. So let me wait till I'm ready. Let me get my database set up. Let me get my smart plan set up. And then let me pull the trigger and let's flood my lead generation plan, because I'm ready. Because my message is ready. My mindset is ready. I'm ready to receive what's on the other end of me putting out all this great value. And the 6th one was a trust to deepen between him and the king. Well, it was a trust to deepen between you and your clients, between you and your coworkers, between you and your staff, whatever you're building. But the trust has to deepen before people will start to see you as a resource, see you as the go-to for anything real estate, anything house, anything community. So when we talk about pursuit and we talk about positioning ourselves to really win, it's finding the right time, it's being prepared, it's knowing what you're going after, and then truly pursuing it. And I will tell you, has there been a time in your life that you wanted something so bad that you would do anything for it? Anything. Now, I can honestly take you back to, maybe it's not even the person you're married to, but when we were like, had silly kid love, where it was like, oh my God, I'll die if he doesn't call me back. Or you're waiting for the phone to ring but I'm going to miss it. And the call waiting wasn't there. So what if the phone's busy? And you would pursue that person, or you would pursue, there's things, maybe somebody wanted to get a degree in something and you just pursued that. Your real estate license, you pursued it. You wanted to get it. Have that same passion about getting this business. Have that same passion about pursuing to get to success by the end of 2021. And what that looks like today will be very different than what that looks like a year from now. And so just stay continuing to grow into who you are, be flexible with who you become. Sometimes you would look at yourself 3 years from now and go, I can't even believe I talked like that. I can't even believe I thought like that. Can't even believe I hung out with people like that. Wow, look at me now. I don't feel like much has changed, but just by those small little changes and being conscious of that stuff and pursuing the right things in life, you can literally morph into a totally different person. And honestly, guys, that's the vision that I have of you, is your best self. And I just want that for you. And I know you want that for yourself. So on pursuit, anybody else have any ahas or sharing moments on this?
I agree with what you're saying, Maribeth. It's so important to have a plan, but also build and take action, so I really like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that definitely. You can dream as much as you want, or you want how many things, but you will never get to anything unless you really work for it. And having a plan or be prepared, this is the best way to get to what you want.
That's right.
Just randomly is not going to get you anywhere. You might get once, but you have to be well prepared and planned.
And the idea of, like, here's the wall of craziness inside Maribeth's brain right now, the wall of perfection. No, it's not gonna be perfect, but you do have to take action. So, it can't be perfect, because as you start to take action, it will already start moving into something bigger. Once you start taking action on your business, more possibilities are coming, because as you add people, well, there's another possible 5 deals you could do a year. And so you have to take action, and then be a business person to be mindful of the metrics that come at you, so that you know which way to navigate your course. And so I as I'm talking, I'm really bringing in a whole bunch of different laws of laws of leadership as we've gone through together. Some of you are newer here, but we've gone through the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And that is a book that every leader should have, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. But what we just talked about was a little bit of the law of inner circle, who you hang with, your 5 closest people, take their income, divide it by 5. That's probably what you earn. What you listen to, that's law of inner circle. Law of navigation, charting the course. Anybody can steer the ship, but who charts the course? The captain, the director, the orchestra. You're the director. You are the director and the captain. So got to flip your hats. And taking action is that captain that's steering, but behind that was, the charting the course. So, all right, guys, pursuit, preparation, planning, and then pursuit. Take action. You guys can do it. I will be at Family Reunion next week, Monday through Thursday. We will not have any coaching lobby. We will not have any classes. It will all be geared towards Family Reunion. And we'll be back here on Friday at 12 o'clock for Leadership Lobby. Okay?
Yeah, I won't be able to make most of the classes, actually, or the sessions for the Family Reunion, but I'm relying on the recordings. Yeah, actually, I just registered yesterday because I was not planning to. I have a conflict for the whole next week.
That's okay.
I'll do my best, to be on most of the sessions. How much is it?
Those recordings are going to be available for 60 days, and I would say about 80% of the material will be available. With that, one of those classes is worth $80. You're going to have hundreds of classes at your fingertips, so it will be well worth it. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you next Friday.
Thank
Good
you.
weekend. You're welcome.